जी बिल्कुल, अपने देश के लिए खूब फाइट किया उसने, सिल्वर मेडल जीता है। बड़ी खुशी है हमारे लिए कि अभी तक हम ब्रॉन्ज जीते हुए थे, अभी हमने सिल्वर जीता है। पूरे देश में खुशी होनी चाहिए। सही में जो हमें लगता है जो उसको ग्रोइंग इंजरी थी वो उसी के कारण शायद कुछ जूझ रहे थे और उसी में कोई दिक्कत रही है। ओलंपिक में फाइट की है और मेडल जीता है और आने वाले ओलंपिक में भी देश के लिए जी जान लगा देगा। जी हमारे देश के लिए बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि हम लोग 5वां मेडल जीत पाए हैं। अभी और खिलाड़ी बाकी हैं। मैं तो ये बोलता हूँ सभी खिलाड़ी मेडल के साथ वापिस आए।
जिस प्रकार से पेरिस ओलंपिक में नीरज चोपड़ा का जो सिल्वर मेडल आया, उसके लिए मैं नीरज चोपड़ा को अपने देशवासियों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। थोड़ा देश नाखुश है क्योंकि जिस हिसाब से उम्मीद थी कि एक गोल्ड मेडल एथलेटिक्स में अगर फील्ड इवेंट में हमको मिलेगा तो वो नीरज चोपड़ा से थी, लेकिन कोई बात नहीं, उन्होंने अपना पर्सनल बेस्ट किया है और उसी हिसाब से पाकिस्तान का जो प्लेयर था उन्होंने भी सबसे अच्छा थ्रो तो फेंका ही, लेकिन ओलंपिक रिकॉर्ड भी बनाया है। 92.98 जो जेवलिन फेंकी है उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा किया, लेकिन जो उम्मीदें हमको अपने नीरज से थी बहुत ज़्यादा, थोड़ा निराश है देश, लेकिन क्योंकि एक गोल्ड मेडल की चाहत थी वो पूरा नहीं हो पाया।
We are being joined by a special guest, Gaurav Gupta, who is the senior assistant editor of TOI. Mr. Gupta, when we're talking about Neeraj Chopra, of course, everybody's very excited. We were earlier talking about how this really brings in a message of hope for a country that had many hopes pinned on Vinesh Fogart. But of course, then we saw that heartbreaking disqualification because of a mere 100 to 120 grams of weight. Now, when we're talking about Neeraj Chopra, of course, the man of the moment, let's talk about the attempts that were made. Can you explain why only the second attempt was counted?
I mean, he began with a foul, I think, and there were a couple of fouls. I don't think really it was his best day yesterday, except that the one throw that he made, which was his season's best, and he ended up throwing it to 89.45 meters, and I think it was always up against it once Arshad Nadeem went to through 92.97, and I think because Neeraj has never breached the 90-meter mark in his life, and struggling with that groin injury. I think the beauty of Neeraj's win is that despite as his father said, struggling with that groin injury, he still managed to go on and win the silver medal. And that is a big lesson for our athletes, that despite obstacles, you can go on and do your country proud and win a medal, and a silver medal at that. This is our first silver. It has ended that the run of bronze medals that we have. The medal of, I mean, this Olympics has frankly been there's been a lot of disappointments, in the sense of too many fourth place finishes, too many heartbreaks. We saw what happened with Vinesh Fogart. We were still fighting her case. She's overshot her weight by not more than, say, around 100 grams, and then of course several umpiring, refereeing problems. Nishan Dev being pummeling his opponent and yet losing 4-1, and then in other sports as well. In hockey also there was a bit of a. I mean, imagine if Amit Rohidas had played that semi-final, and what the result would have been. We missed a terrific defender, a great rusher, and the result could have been different if we had played. So all in all, this has been a bit of a nearly there Olympic campaign for India, but Neeraj has capped it off brilliantly, and I hope a couple of other medals come our way today, in terms of if the authorities are, if the judges at CAS are a bit sort of lenient, and they take a humanistic view of the whole thing. Maybe we get our medal back, the silver medal that Vinesh so deserves, and of course Aman Sehrawat in the if he gets through and wins a bronze, that would be terrific. That would be an excellent last day. But yesterday I thought was one of the better days for Indian sport. Winning the hockey team winning back-to-back bronze medals, and then Neeraj also winning back-to-back after his gold silver medal, and becoming one of the few Indian athletes to have done that. that. All in all, I think the couple of medals that we won yesterday have sort of salvaged what has been basically been out pretty much a disastrous campaign, considering that we were targeting a double-digit tally. But Neeraj, I think, deserves credit for the way he threw the javelin, despite being hampered by his injury. That is the beauty of his triumph, I think, and that is what will be remembered for a long time to come. That he overcame his injury and still went on to do India proud. And produce a one throw. I always believe with Neeraj, it's not about he's not somebody who will have flashes of excellence. He is not. He is somebody who believes in consistency, and I think that is where he scored. His consistency was what got him a silver medal. I mean, Arshad Nadeem was in the form of his life, just like Neeraj was 4 years back. And this is what, as Neeraj said, both of them have been competing together since 2016. So there will be times when Neeraj will win. There will be
Absolutely.
times when Arshad will win, and Arshad Nadeem also deserves credit for having been at it, with despite little support from the Pakistan government. Only the last few years the government has supported him. In Neeraj's case, of course, the support has been far better. We are far more encouraging towards Olympic sports than our neighbor. But overall, I think Neeraj would look back at this with pretty much a lot of satisfaction, and let's hope that he can complete a hat trick at LA 28. Yesterday was definitely not one of his best in terms of him making a couple of fouls and all that. But I think the beauty of Neeraj is that he still somehow managed to produce his best when it mattered, and at least got us a silver medal, which is again sensational considering that this is our first silver in this campaign, this entire Olympics campaign. And big kudos to him, considering we've had too many near misses,
Absolutely.
too many fourth finishes.
Absolutely. Gaurav, I also wanted to ask you, when we're talking about the javelin throw, there is a lot of buzz about the doping tests that are going to be conducted. Of course, that takes place hours before and hours after this event. What is the story there? Why is there so much of a buzz around it?
I think doping tests are normal, and I mean they take place, regularly, and that is necessary also, because in athletics, the dope tests are pretty much order of the day, considering that in the past we have found that several doping cases have emerged across sports. So I think javelin also will have its share of dope tests and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, there are people throwing the javelin more than 90 meters, and definitely that's needs to be verified and tested by the doping authorities. I'm sure Neeraj will not face such a problem. I keep my fingers crossed, because he has never had these kind of issues, and he's somebody who's been a clean athlete through and through. Similarly, for Arshad Nadeem also, I doubt that he will also will have any such case. The Peters of Grenada, I think also I really doubt that he will have that kind of issues with doping or something. But I think doping is, I mean, dope tests are definitely the order of the day, considering the amount of corruption that can happen in sports, the cheating that can happen in sports. So we saw what happened with the Chinese swimmers. I mean, years later, just before this Olympics, it emerged that several Chinese swimmers had actually had dope before, had failed a dope test, and before the Tokyo Olympics, and yet were allowed to compete. So those are the sort of things that you want to avoid. Those are the sort of things that nobody likes to see. So I think it's a fair call, and I am all for dope tests as long as they help prevent cheats. And what happened with the Chinese swimming team being allowed to compete despite being doped was just not done. Absolutely uncalled for, and I think a big blow to the credibility of the games, Olympic Games. So I think it's a welcome move. I have no issues with it. All the athletes who won should win clean, and dope. The sports needs to be dope free. The Olympics needs to be dope free. So I'm fine with that. And I think our both Neeraj and Arshad will clear these dope tests pretty smoothly. I think Neeraj himself will welcome these tests.
Absolutely. Gaurav, thank you so much for joining us, bringing us that crucial information, that perspective that's really needed after a day like yesterday. Very exciting and thrilling day. Do stay with us. Right now, we're going to actually listen into a conversation with the president of the Athletics Federation of India.
It's been a historic day at Paris 2024. Neeraj Chopra has won the silver medal in javelin throw. Sir, double Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra. How does that sound? How proud are you? How proud is the Athletics Federation of India?
No. I think he's done something that nobody's ever done before. He's the Asian champion, the Commonwealth champion, the world champion, Olympic champion, and today I think he did fantastically well, especially coming back from an injury and doing his season's best performance. He threw more here than he threw in Tokyo to get the gold medal. So he's done everything that he had to. It was just that the other athlete threw better. You also have to remember that there were 4 people who have thrown 90 meters and above. He has never thrown 90 meters. So I think it's a fantastic performance. I think he fought like a tiger, and he is a tiger, and he's one of the greatest athletes India has ever produced.
After Tokyo, 7th August was going to be celebrated as Javelin Day. What is 8th August going to be celebrated as?
I don't know what it, but yesterday we did celebrate 7th of August. Thousands and thousands and thousands of children across the country have taken part in the competition. There's some lovely pictures that came to me. I was not there, but I think it's a movement that we've created, and I'm looking forward to greater things.
Sir, Olympics in Europe, but the 1-2 belongs to Asia, Pakistan, and India. A good side for the future.
No, absolutely. I think Asia has been, sort of underrated. People think that Asians can't win. I think Asians can win, whether it's India, Pakistan, China, Japan, and with the World Championships next year in Japan and 2 years later in China, you will see Asia really putting everything it can and moving up to becoming a real power.
And more medals from athletics for India.
I hope so.
Thank you, sir, for